everybody, my name is Bridget and welcome back to my channel. In today's video I thought we would do the reading challenge. This reading challenge is attempting to read 200 pages a day for a week. I'm really excited. We've got a fun stack of books to read. I did go to the library. On the new releases, they had the new Chidgey book, I want to say, The Book of Guilt, which I've just seen everywhere in bookshops. And this one is about 3 triplets in England in 1979, Vincent, Lawrence and William. And they are the last remaining residents of a New Forest home, part of the government's Sycamore scheme. Each day the boys must take medicine to protect themselves from mysterious illness to which many of their friends have succumbed. Children who survive are allowed to move to the big house in Margate, a destination of mythical proportions desired by every Sycamore child. Meanwhile, in Exeter, Nancy lives a secluded life with her parents, who never let her leave the house. As the government looks to shut down Sycamore homes and place the residents into the community, the triplets' lives begin to intersect with Nancy's, culminating in revelations that will rock the children to the core. And then I did see Taylor Jenkins Reid new book Atmosphere. I saw it at the library. They do this kind of deal, $3 for 7 days, and it means like they rotate the newer releases a bit faster. I am a bit nervous because this one is set in space, I believe, and I don't usually gravitate towards books set around space. But it's got praise by Kristen Hanna on the back here. Thrilling, heartbreaking, uplifting, Taylor Jenkins Reid novel Atmosphere is the fast-paced, emotionally charged story of one ambitious young woman finding both her voice and her passion as she fights to become one of the first female NASA astronauts in 1980s. You'll barrel through this electric novel rooting for the woman to not only succeed in the space program but to soar. A pitch-perfect ending. I loved it. Ooh, okay, I'm excited for this. These two from the library. And then another book on my radar is Great Big Beautiful Life. And then we have got my birthday book of August, Sounds Like Love, which I'm very excited for. This is a romance. It's about Joni Lark, who's a musician. She's lost her inspiration and then she hears someone with the same tune in their head as she does. It's a bit of a love story. And we also have the new Jessa Hastings Time of Your Life, which I am so excited for. And I am listening to the Rose Bargain book is on Libby. I just downloaded the library app and I had it and I've been eyeing up that book for ages. I've heard such good things about it. I believe it is Bridgerton meets The Cruel Prince. And I adore Bridgerton. Haven't read The Cruel Prince yet, but it is in my bookshelf and I'm excited to read that one day. So we've got 6 books. We've got a week, 1,400 pages to reach, and that's the plan and I'm so excited. I have made my coffee, a decaf iced coffee. Honestly, life couldn't get much better. I've got a few hours to read. I'm going to set the timer for a few hours to keep on track. I have got work at 3 p.m. today and it's now nearly 11. And honestly, couldn't have the more perfect morning to sit down and read for a few hours with my iced coffee. My iced coffee, that's it, my iced coffee. My iced coffee. The only thing is, which book do we start with? I'll definitely be listening to the Rose Bargain, I believe. Yeah, the Rose Bargain on my way to work. It's about a 25-minute drive to work. But do we start? I think we start with a lighter. We either start with Atmosphere or Sounds Like Love. And I am leaning towards this just before work. Just have something light, something fun. Matches my pajamas. Let's go read. Is there something that sounds better than that? Reading iced coffee? Not right now, no. Hello. So far this book is giving me the feels. I've got a really good feeling about this book. I love a good intro to a romance book. The banter is good. The setting is good. It's set at a concert. She writes songs and wrote a song and it's gone to become a smash hit. And then Willa, who's the pop star who's singing the song, invites her to the private balcony. So Joni goes up to the private balcony. She doesn't say who she is and she sees one of the guys from a band who was famous like 15 years ago. When she was at high school, I guess she would have been like 15. He was like the heartthrob back in the day, and he comes across as very arrogant, thinks everyone's obsessed with him, all that kind of jazz. There's a bit of banter there. There's also a kiss cam that gets mentioned, and then they get on the kiss cam. They end up kissing and then he whispers something like that she heard that he didn't think he heard. So I think this is the start of the magical realism. She also has been out of love for a long time. When she kisses him, she starts to hear a melody of a song. I think she's gonna start to write. Every chapter is based on a song, which is really fun. So the first chapter was called Kiss Me, the second one Electric Touch, and the third one is Say a Little Prayer. So far the reading challenge is going good. Yes, I've read 10% maybe of what I need to for the day, but we will keep going. Hello, it is Saturday morning. I've just made myself a little pink lemonade. I am absolutely parched, but I have some good news on the book, well, good and bad news on the book front. Yesterday I didn't reach 200 pages. I read 152 altogether, 100 from Sounds Like Love, and I ended up listening to The Rose Bargain on the way home and to work, which I am loving. And I listened to about 13%, which is about 52 pages. It's about Ivy Benton. She is trying to undo the bargain that her sister made with the Queen, who's a fairy, and she's entered herself in a competition to get the chance to do this by competing with these other girls. They're trying to be chosen to be the wife of one of the princes. It is very, very entertaining. It's very fast paced and the world feels so whimsical and magical, kind of giving like Stephanie Garber kind of writing style. On Goodreads that it's a cross between The Selection and Bridgerton, so it does have that very like England 1850s and fair dancing. They've just done like a competition to see who can dance. I'm really, really enjoying it. Today I've only read 5%, which is about 20 pages. Went to Pilates this morning, caught up with a friend, and then Tim and I ran some errands. It is time to sit down, have a pink lemonade, have some chippies. I'm just obsessed. This like matches everything. Look, the drink. Okay, anyway, it's all very aesthetic over here, but I'm gonna carry on reading Sounds Like Love, chill out on the beanbag and relax. It is Sunday morning. I have to admit that yesterday I did not do much reading at all. Yesterday I read only 60 pages into about 5% of The Rose Bargain, 20 pages. So I read in total 80 pages. It's very foggy outside and I've got about an hour to read before we go up to brunch. So I'm going to sit down with my decaf and read. Good morning everybody. It is about 9 o'clock on Tuesday morning. I didn't pick up the camera yesterday. I had the busiest day. We had a baby appointment and then I ran some errands, and I just wanted to update you because on Sunday we did it. I hit the 200 page mark on Sunday and I read 200 pages of Sounds Like Love. This was such a bingeable rom-com chick flick kind of vibe. Actually, Poston is slowly becoming one of my favourite comfort reads. It touches on subjects of grief, dementia, music, which is really nice. Really nice story through telepathy. Two main characters had that connection and that bond. Initially they didn't, a bit of a slow burn, even though there was some initial kissing, but then it was very much slow burn, not much spice at all, maybe one scene. Very fun Sunday afternoon read. I am also listening to The Rose Bargain, which I have to admit I am loving. It's kind of scandalous the way that the Queen treats the ladies that are trialing. It's almost like a game. They're trialing to become next wife, next princess to Prince Bram, who's 18. Prince Bram also has a brother, Emmett. Ivy is the main character. She has so far been such a cool female lead. She's got like her own mind, her own like determination. She knows what she wants. It's just so riveting. The Queen is so cruel to the ladies, and it's like, it's honestly horrible to read about some of the things that they go through, like the grit, the determination that they have to do just to become a princess. I'm not sure I'm loving that part, but it is very entertaining on that point, and just set in the world of like princesses and royalty going to balls and playing these games. The storyline is fast paced and I'm really enjoying it. I'm 34% through. On Sunday I listened to 26%. I listened up from 26 to 34% yesterday. About maybe 15 pages yesterday. And then I thought, let's get into our library book. I mean, this cover is really popping on camera. I've got a few hours before work. Hopefully today is another 200 page day. Okay, I have read up to the first chapter. We've had kind of an event that's happened 7 years, pretty gripping, and we've got Joan. She's a astrophysicist professor, begins training as an astronaut at Houston's Johnson Space Center. So she's training to become an astronaut, and then she's got this kind of clan of people working at NASA, and we've had a bit of an intro to them. And so the author's note was pretty nice. I might even read it. It was very touching, and it makes you kind of understand why she wrote a book set in space and to do with NASA. Dear reader, one night last summer after my daughter had gotten into bed, I walked outside, looked up at the night sky and saw Venus in the distance. It was brighter than any star, hanging low just above the trees. My daughter and I had been trying to spot Venus for a few days now. I knew that I had let her fall asleep, but instead I snuck up to her room, opened the door and whispered, "Come outside." When we... Oh my god, sorry, my nose is so blocked. I think it's congestion to do with pregnancy, but my eyes are just like kind of sensitive right now. But anyway, when we got to the backyard, I picked her up. She's far too big to be held anymore, but she still lets me do it when she's sleepy. I pointed toward Venus in front of us. "There it is," she said. "I can see it." And for a few moments, I held her in my arms as the two of us stared up at the night sky, filled with awe. Before writing this novel, I could barely recognize the Big Dipper, but I wanted to make my main character Joan a passionate, excitable astronomer. So I downloaded an app, picked up some books, and began studying the stars. Just really thought that was really nice, that little author's note. Heading to the library now to return these two books. They are both due today, and I didn't read any of this one, but I am still looking forward to getting to it one day. And this one, I am up to page 62, I might get it on my Kindle because I am enjoying it as well. But they are due back. I'm going to return them before I catch my flight.